I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Wow! Holy moly! We search through the lonely earth. Oh my God! I will be your judge.
Oh my God! How many years detective, Mr. Marchese?
5, 6.
5, 6 years. Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. It's Thursday, and it's Liverpool. No, it's not. It's Liverpool, the league champions. Ha! The big metal detecting show. There you go. A little bit of daftness to start the week. Hope you're all well. Big night this evening. Joining us this evening are two gentlemen from Celtic Stag Metal Detecting, KEIRAN, SLADE, and HEARNE, who will be with us shortly. But before we do, we're going to share the screen and get straight into it. So, Mr. Higgins, if you will, we will share the screen. So, two new news articles this week. Sadly, you may have noticed that the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine page and the Big Metal Detecting show have both been a little bit quiet. That's because I have been Facebook banned and I'm due back from jail tomorrow. So, hence, but my good friends, Mr. Luke Higgins, Lee Hull, and Tombo Brew have been putting some bits and bobs here and there. So at least we've had some butts coming on. So this week, how amateur archaeologists hit jackpot finding a huge hoard of coins worth millions, and I'll say millions because it's not really millions, is it? And it's about Adam Staples and Lisa Grace discovering, along with some other people, which isn't generally discussed because they didn't want the publicity, finding the Chew Valley hoard, which was 2,528 coins last year. And it just goes on about what we've all heard already. But if you don't know the story, please give this website a visit. It's the Daily Express, and there's your headline, and that was published yesterday. Second up, and I've just lost it. Duh. Let me go back. That's me pressing click too quickly. There we go. Detectorist Andy hits a rich seam of discoveries after finding a medieval Pope seal. So, Andy Bassett found other treasures in a ploughed field near Bridgenorth after spending many months researching the site's history. Pope Innocent the IV, whose papacy began in 1243, used a lead coin-like object to confer political and religious favours on supporters. So there is that. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Some other bits and bobs as well. Nice coloration, very similar to Mike Smith's Iron Age finds down in Wales. And that's a high-status Roman brooch. So some beautiful bits and bobs there. Onto my little files over here. And I got sent a package this week. Here we go. This is from Graham Dempsey, a composite cleaning pencil company. So this is the pencil, as you know, using inserts to pick away at stuff. But these new little bits actually go into the pencil. So you load them from the pencil end, and fantastic little bit of kit, to be fair, because we all use little picks and whatnot. But these are actually I can't remember if the brass or the brass. I think the brass, and you can obviously pick away at the lettering to reveal as much as better as you can to get all that little hard bits off. He's also developed another bit. It's called the Artifact Cleaning Powder. And as you can see in this photograph, you actually mix it with the compound the wax compound that we've discussed in the past with him. And this makes it a little bit more, so you can get a lot more off. It makes it put a bit of grit into it. It's not heavy duty, it's very light, and I'm probably getting my words wrong, but I'm sure you understand. And he's had some fantastic, look at that, for instance, turning into that. It looks fantastic. This coin, he utilised the bits in the wax, and this is the outcome of that. A beautiful little coin as well. And they're the finished products of some other coins that he's used it on as well. So obviously give that a look up. His website is www.cleaningpencil.com, and you'll be able to see the full range. And I know that he's got another thing in development at the moment. It's the last stage of development, so it looks very, very interesting things coming up on there. So we look forward to that. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guests. Celtic Stag Metal Detecting Group. I've only got to know about them over the past couple of weeks, being invited to their group on Facebook. So here tonight you have Mr. KEIRAN SLADE and Craig HEARNE. Good evening, gents.
Good evening.
How are you both?
Good. Yourself?
Excellent. So could you tell me a little bit about yourselves and obviously a little bit about the Celtic Stag Group as well, please?
Well, where do you want to start there?
Start at the beginning.
We formed a group quite a while back, actually. Actually, I met KEIRAN himself. Bit of a funny story, really. I actually jumped out on KEIRAN in the bushes. I thought he was detected on my perm. Yeah. I literally jumped out to the bushes and died. He said, "What are you doing on my perm?" And we met from there, really, and we just went on. It was just love at first sight, if you want to call it, really. We both got sons with learning difficulties as well, so they went hand in hand. The club was formed then. Obviously, me and KEIRAN decided then that we went on this journey together. I'm a great believer in destiny, to be honest. And we went down to a certain part in West Wales for a drive. Bit of a wild goose chase on first, but then we decided then that we'd stop at a certain farm, and we had a bit of a detecting, and bang, we hit the mother lode.
And the mother lode being?
The Bronze Age HOARD and the Gold Nugget.
And so, we've actually got the images. So, if Luke, if it's all right with yourself, I'm going to share the screen again, and we'll start looking at the images. And you can obviously talk us through it when it can go. Marvellous. So, first up, this little beauty.
That was a very, very tricky one, that was, to be honest, because...
For the story behind it, what it came about is the farmer had let us go on another land that he had there. It was about 2 or 3 fields over from where we found the Bronze Age HOARDs. We dug up a bit of the ground and there were the ducks.
Well, the Jeep got stuck, actually.
Yeah.
He said, "Get stuck, boys, park here." And I said, "I don't want to park here because I know the Jeep is going to sink." And he's like, no, park there, park there. So we said, all right, yeah, I parked there. And it got quite late. It was January. The light beat us. And obviously then, I said, if you can do me a favour, stand in front of the Jeep, give it a rock, and KEIRAN turned brown, which you weren't too happy about.
No.
So we had the farmer down there to tow us out. We went back to that same spot the following day because he just wrecked the field. But we patched the field up. So we thought, right, what we'll do, we'll have a little bit of a dig by here now and a little bit of a scan. And I kept having this really low signal. So what I did, I just kept going on like this. It's not going to be, it's not much. So at that point then, I dug down to about 3 inches. And this little gold beauty then popped up over the ground. And I lost it. I literally lost it. Because it like literally flicked out the ground. Yeah. But you were calling me because you had found the William III mill toy. So we were both battling. He said, "No, you come here, I'll come there. No, you come here." So I said, "Just come over to me." And he was like, "No, you come here." I was like, "No, you come here." Until I think I found gold. He said, "Well, I found this." So in the end, we just met in the middle. So we done as many tests as we possibly could ourselves. We tried burning it, we tried fighting it, we tried sticking a magnet to it, and nothing worked. So we goes up to my father's property, and there's my father. I'll test it. Yeah, right there, we can test it like this. What he had actually done, he put it in vinegar for 24 hours. Not a very great thing to do. You only went to test it in vinegar and different acidic goes in outside. So we were furious, weren't we? So anyway, when we come back, I said, "Is it gold or not?" Well, I think it's gold. So we took it to the museum, and they confirmed it was gold. But the best part about it was that when they done like microanalyzing on it, it actually been used by it'd been worked. Which just next to that, then we actually found buried down about foot and a half was a smelting pit.
Right.
At the same land. So then that left us from there. But to be honest, I'll be honest with you, I went to Cardiff, Wales and France today in the Principality Stadium. I had it in my pocket going in there with it. Not realising. A bit of good luck, but didn't work because we lost. And we did lose bad, but as I say, but that's the end of the story, more or less, because we parked up, the farmer came down, he said, "Any chance we can go on your land?" Yeah, he said, "You can't go over here." He said, "Because of my sheep." I said, "Yeah, it's absolutely fine." So we went from here then into the first field. Excuse me. We went up and we were just finding nothing really, to be honest. Nothing, there was nothing really there significant. And we generally thought that it actually been done really, somebody's been hammered it.
Yeah.
And it turns out that KEIRAN actually picked up a Bronze Age jet,
Casting jet.
a casting jet, which he went to throw in the street. But he kept in his pocket. So we carried on going. I think, what time did it end?
When we come across it. Or
Yeah, when we came across.
4.
Yeah, but 4:30. So when no daylight was actually catching up with us. So we were digging now, literally. KEIRAN had the signal there. I've always had the mindset, you never know what's under that ground. You physically can't tell. You can get certain signals, will give you a certain idea. But it was a wide variety of different signals that was literally bouncing off the ground. So we dug down. I gently dug a nice plug, popped it out, and the first thing that hit me was a Bronze Age axe.
So,
go on.
what machines were you actually using when you found the gold nugget and obviously the start of the simplex?
Yeah,
Thanks to Dilek and her ingenious idea, the alleged promotion.
Yeah.
It was, so anyway, we decided then, so I generally thought, well, on my first instinct, I generally thought that somebody had literally had planted them there as if they'd done like a medieval roleplay battle or
Yeah.
something along them lines, because they were so pristine condition.
Well preserved, weren't they?
Very, very well preserved. So then when we pulled them out, as you can see there,
They'd be from the second hole. They come out of the second hole.
they were
Right. So you've actually had 2 Bronze Age hoards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Well, if I go through the photographs, if you could obviously describe everything, explain which is which, what belongs to which hoard, this would be great. So this is the second hoard. So this was found obviously later than the first one. How much later was that found?
The day after.
The day after.
Really?
9.5, exactly 9.5 for the path.
Yeah.
After literally within that time scale, my wife Laura was doing a lot of research on the Bronze Age and etc. And their force was literally around about that side.
Yeah.
And for everything that I can't go into much detail by you, Dave, but we were literally there we are, as you can see there.
Collective.
When we went with the archaeologists over the ground and they done the geophysics, we found a lot more there.
Right.
And just to let you know, there is treasure still in the ground. We just have to check.
COVID's put a stop.
COVID put a stop to it, isn't it? But
Right.
as you know, there's a lot of suffering going on in the world, so we decided to postpone, carry on and do the work. But
So is this what we're looking at now? The entire collection of the 2 days finds?
No.
These are the ones that are in the museum. The other stuff are obviously still in the ground that's up there, see?
Right. Well, this is what's been taken out of the ground up to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
There are other things that the reason why we haven't displayed them is because we got to get them to the museum locked down, like blade, sword fragments, about 200. See that one there now? That one is up on the screen. That is the first casting jet KEIRAN found.
This was the one he was going to throw in the stream.
That's the famous one, yeah.
If you actually look at the image, Dave, there you can see there's like a bit of a really like a gold-looking colour behind it.
Right. Yeah.
The archaeologist
First said it was gold, didn't he?
yeah, because he weighed it against another casting jet, which was a lot bigger. As you can see just behind that photo there, you can see the trading disc as well.
Is that one there?
That's a trading disc, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're absolutely besotted by really, because
they'd said that back in them days, that disc there, that would be the equivalent of millions in today.
Wow.
The currency of trading, you know.
because they would have used that then, that disc, they would have taken from settlement to settlement to settlement in order.
Yeah, I'm with you.
An emergency, basically. You could smell that down, pump. Now you
Yeah.
can see the cloak pin there.
That's the long one, yeah?
Yeah, that was actually complete when it came off the ground until a certain archaeologist broke it.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's the only one to ever be found in Britain.
wow. And we've obviously got spearheads. We've got, I take it that's a smaller axe head. The other axe heads as well. And then Torques at the bottom.
That's a chiseling tool, that one, Dave.
Sorry?
That's a chiseling tool.
Oh, right. Ah,
Yeah.
yes, sorry. Yes, sorry, it is, yeah.
We've got a chiseling tool. But what we did find, when we opened one part of the ground, there were 17 axe heads, all going from an inch to 6 inches, all starting by each other.
Wow. So the Russian dolls of Bronze Age axe heads.
Basically, yeah.
Extremely precise.
Very, very precise.
Wow. And do the archaeologists think that that particular find was made to be like that? That's actually something that was created to be like that?
It's baffled them really, because the way they came out of the ground, the manner they came out, is baffled them really, because it's not something they normally expect when they deal with stuff like that, you know. They were a bit
they were a bit dubious. They were very confused. They wanted soil samples as well, so we went back collected soil samples from
the proper chin and scratch up.
It was very, because in fact, I don't know if I can mention the archaeologist's name. Can I mention the archaeologist's name? Dave?
Of course, it's down to yourselves. I thought you were asking KEIRAN, sorry.
No, Ken Murphy is the director of David Archaeology.
Yeah.
So, David Ceredigion area is where we found it. Around that area, but Ceredigion is a fast place. So all the viewers, you're not going to find it before you think about it. But his wife rang me at 11:30 at night. There we go. You got there. See that there? That image back there, Dave?
Yeah.
All them acts said, so they were the ones rolling inside each other, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the second hole.
Yeah, that was the second hole that came out. And it's
right.
baffled. Did it solve it like that?
Yeah, I think that this is obviously when it was all on the table. This is part of the spread.
He literally was sat there, I'm not kidding you, with a book, and he was flicking through this book in his hand, and he was going across, and he was like, I said, excuse me, I said, do you mind asking me this? I'm just trying to see what we got and you haven't got. He's like, we haven't got that, we haven't got that, we haven't got that, we haven't got that. And the woman, the other archaeologist that was with him, this lady, she started crying in the kitchen. I genuinely thought she'd had a bad day at work or something. I was like, why are you crying? Because I've never seen anything so beautiful.
They normally get the opportunity to see if they are, you don't get the opportunity to see them firsthand, you know.
Yeah.
So it's an experience for them as well, I suppose.
As the hoard actually got a name, obviously every hoard that we come across is given a term, a name. Has this actually got a name?
Yeah.
In the museum?
The first hoard of 2020, and then the second hoard of 2020.
No, I mean like in the sense that the Staffordshire hoard's called the Staffordshire hoard.
The Ceredigion hoard.
Ceredigion. Oh, it's one of them words that I should be able to spell. That'll do. So what I'll try and do during the adverts at past, I'll have a brief look and see if I can come up with any of the museum images that obviously show these today. So
you won't get them yet.
No, okay.
Obviously, because of lockdown, and I only really wish that if they were. As you know, when we went to the museum, I literally went into the room and it was full of these people. I was like, what all these people are in there? Well, I knew Mark Ludwig, and I was speaking to the curator from the museum, Adam Grills, at that time. There was all these other people in there because they all was fascinated. Obviously, you got the armlets there as well. Now the armlets, when we pulled them out of the ground, were linked together. They were still linked.
Wow.
They were placed.
And what are these items? There's this one sort of centre to right. What's that item and the one below here?
I don't actually know what that was, to Can you get a zoom in on that there, Dave?
I was actually trying to a minute ago. Let me see, resize. Let's try. No, that's just going to be a pain in the arse. Again, I'll sort something out during the break and come back to that then.
Because there was a spoon. We found this. It looked like a giant bear, the armlet there. They were all actually linked in order from the biggest to the medium to the smallest.
Yeah.
And I remember actually showing my father, and he was trying to put one on his wrist. Not going to fit. He said, "Can I keep this?" I said, "No, you can't keep it." He said, "You can't keep the bloody thing." I said, "If it's going to go to the museum," but they wouldn't make one. He said, "They go into the museum, Dad." He said, "You cannot have them. It's as simple as that." But overall, we just didn't know what to do with it. It was a shock in the system, but then at the same time, it was, is this real? Is this real what I got in my hand? Because the pinhole either side of the spearhead themselves, they just looked like as if they were laser. Literally, they just generally looked like the
they
precision.
look too good to be true. The way they were made, you'd swear they were from the ground yesterday.
Yeah.
The preservation on them was unreal.
That's what baffled the archaeologists. They were like, how were they in the ground? How were they prevented? Now, I will tell you for you now, the spears were facing north, east, south, and west, over.
They weren't in any rush to bury them.
No, they weren't. They were placed in there for a specific reason. And I'll be honest with you, Dave, I went home that following night, and I sat in my wife and I cried my eyes out.
I'd probably do exactly the same myself. It's one of those things that you just unless you actually have been there like yourselves, there's just nothing else you could do, is there? It's it's mind blowing.
It is.
We went up there on the impression we were just going to get a couple of nice coins, hopefully, and we did.
Yeah.
We did get a couple of nice silver coins, but didn't expect anything like that on that scale anyway, for sure.
No. I just looked at somebody just put a comment that saying it was illegal to have 2 holes before big hours. But the problem is that when I actually phoned the flow, I was like, what am I meant to do with all these artifacts? Take them up, take them home there. Sure. I didn't want to.
I was surprised with that, we really did.
The farmer came up, right, I'm not kidding you, said to the farmer, "Come in here and have a look at this." And he literally went in and yanked an axe head up. And I said, "No, don't do that, please don't do that." What's it done? I said,
his hands are like shovels.
Yeah, you got the axe. And I said, "That's another sheep there, that's what that is." And that's basically, we did find something on the land. Go on.
Well, it was condom wrapper we found in one of the fields. And it's not even with the sheep from the land, so it's the old famous Welsh saying goes, so. Literally,
it was a direct wrapper. KEIRAN picked it up in the signal.
I didn't think it'd come up on a detector mind or anything, but.
we didn't think that would come up on a detector. But we were like, he hasn't got what do you call it, a girlfriend, a wife, and I think just him, the sheep and the dog.
Just that was a sheep.
But it was just, I looked at KEIRAN looked at me, and I go, let's not even mention this to the family. Let's just idea. Let's just go. But working alongside the archaeologists, to be honest, was absolutely brilliant. I really, really enjoyed that part of it.
I think most people who've actually worked alongside archaeologists post find of consequence, like Addicted to Bleeps, he absolutely loved it. the whole process and following it through. Mike Smith as well loved what he found the Celtic chariot working through with the archaeologists. And they've all said similar.
Shout out to Mike there, because actually I've spoken to Mike since, and he's actually given us some good guidance, really,
Yeah, he did.
on what the trust,
What to expect,
and what to expect.
the process of it all. And
But it was just be careful, etc., etc. But what went massively in our favour is that my wife's cousin is the head archaeologist in Nottingham.
Really?
Yeah. He got in touch with the Welsh Museum and Ceredigion, and got in touch with Ken Murphy himself, and they managed to sort a plan out basically where it would suit us all. I really enjoyed watching the way the process is. I was quite nervous, when they were digging out one of the pits. We literally got down to the glacier level, if you want to say.
Yeah.
Rapidly. What happened then? All of a sudden, we had this dark patch of showed in the ground, and the archaeologist said, "That's it. Yeah, you go through the soil." And we said, "This is what we are looking for," which they found a post hole in the ground.
Right.
To show that obviously somebody's been there. Then there's a mound. I can't say too much because it would really give it away.
Obviously. So I take it that it's ongoing, and with COVID-19 occurring, obviously shut down in the world of archaeology. As soon as that's up and running, they've got to put a plan in place and test pits, excavations, etc.
Yeah.
Did you say they've done the geophys already?
They've done the geophys.
I think that was only to a certain extent.
Yeah, they was only because due to weather, it was belting down.
Yeah.
Literally belted out.
Very temperamental machines.
When Darren proved there, now we said the archaeologists helped him remove and record all the data. Yes, they will do that. But the only thing that disturbs me, KEIRAN was in Poland, believe it or not, all bases. On holiday, they did beg you, completely to stay, but it was planned for a long time. It was before we became very good friends. So we went off. My wife then, Laura, jumped in, and I gave her a detector. She hadn't have a clue what to use a detector, mate. And she had some good finds. She had some good finds, believe it or not. As you know, somebody that beginners, you just dig away.
Everything, innit?
Yeah.
So we also found cooking stones.
Yes.
I was throwing them in the street.
Really?
Yeah, the archaeologists come over. Laura decided, "Oh, what's this?" He said, "A cooking stone. We'll find that." Oh, well, my husband just found the load and just put them in the street. Yeah, so I was in there now, fishing them out. I was fishing them all out for him, and he was like, so he explained to me what they would use them for, like quartz, for instance, and things like that. They would boil the quartz, put that in water, and they, instead of boiling water and fire, they would use them for
very clever
mystical properties, and like you've got salt and quartz and different things. So you imagine they're quite healthy people, soft people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very, very intense and a surreal moment in itself. Is it real? Is it not real? Is it?
It's just not something to expect to find.
No, you don't. But then, like I always say to people, that people say, "Oh, I'd love to find gold. I'd love to find it." You will only find it if you walk over it.
Absolutely, totally agree. Sadly, I've got big feet, so I just keep walking over everything and missing it.
But the way we look at it is like this, right? Is that I look at it like this in the format where anybody you can base it on fishing, for instance, Dave. You can sit at the river with a 5-pound fishing rod. You could be sitting up there with a 70-pound fishing rod. It's got that right spot on the right side. I can still hold a salmon on the end of a 5-pound fishing rod. You could be sat up that end with a 70-pound fishing rod. I'm not cast nothing all day. And I'm cast with my 5-pound scabby telescopic fishing rod. Hey, mate, right? Off I go. And obviously you've got the depth and everything else to account for, but he or will not that deep.
Yeah, yeah.
But what the simplex actually did do was they were such a useful tool in itself. We were able then to go with the simplex. Now a big shout out to Leisure Promotion and Philip and North Macro, for instance, because they helped us on our journey by giving us better equipment. For instance, the 2-in-1 pulse light, 2-in-1, absolutely beautiful bit of kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever get a better pinpoint on that, actually.
The battery life is phenomenal. The same with the simplex, the battery life it's why it lasts for hours and hours.
Yeah.
For instance, me and KEIRAN, like when we go in the Jeep, we plug it into a cigarette like that, and recharge hours on the go. By the time we get to where we go in, bang, we got a full battery.
Absolutely.
I plug it in for an hour, and I know I get about 4 or 5 hours into it. No problem.
Yeah. Well, listen, gents, I'm going to Luke's going to take us to the break now, and we'll be back shortly afterwards and continue the chat. So we'll see you all momentarily.
Thank you very much.
Holy moly, we search through the lonely earth. Oh my God. I will be your judge.
Oh my God! How many years detective, Mr. Marchese? 5, 6 years.
And we are back. A couple of bit more that I didn't mention at the start of the show to give you a brief overview of. Firstly, you may have noticed some new videos. Thank you for them to Big Finds, Small Finds, who will be coming on in a few weeks' time as guests. Also, Detector Con. There are not many tickets available for next year's event via Scotty B's North of Town Metal Detecting. So if you Google Detector Con, if you are interested in the event in Northumberland in July, then you'll find more information on that. Love Kev Marchese's gold coin. Love his find, absolutely. But that reaction looked like he was going to cry. And I've never heard anybody say holy moly in about 400 years until I heard Luke say it then. Detector Network have now had 1,000 sign-ups, so congratulations to Scott on that. And hopefully we'll see that app be cleared sooner rather than later. A big shout out to Diggers Dips. As you know, last week's guest, the prize draw website, and as you know, my luck isn't the greatest. So I added some money to my account and was entered into the free prize draw, which was nice. But I also entered several other prize draws, and Saturday night I won and received, courtesy of themselves and this gentleman here at LP, I received a nice Garrett Carrot, a delightful Garrett Finds bag, and an absolutely stunning and very heavy, you won't see it greatly, but a Black Ada Sodbuster. So I'm looking forward to getting that out and about sooner rather than later. And that, I thought, was my luck until the free prize draw took place. And lo and behold, what an absolutely stunning and fantastic book this is. And of all the time periods, this is volume 2, of all the time periods that I'm interested in and I find sexy, the Middle Saxon and Viking era finds. And there are some truly fantastic images in here, from swords to strap ends, absolutely all sorts. So thank you to Diggers Dips for drawing my numbers. That was fantastic. I was very shocked when Chris Bailey texted me to say, "You lucky so-and-so." He didn't say so-and-so. But then again, Luke only says, holy moly. So I think that is all the updates done. Again, thank you to all and sundry on there. Into the chat room briefly. Hello evening to Nick West, Darren Booth of History Unearthed, who also says, if I go down to the bottom, when he found his Roman Republic coin hoard, he helped the archaeologists remove and record all the data, and it was a great experience. Hello to Bob Hope, Stephen Pettican, Adrian Gaylor, Jamie Evans, Graham Dempsey, William Hargreaves. I haven't got William to put you in communication with Tom. I'm just having a nightmare at work. To Aaron Weedle, Di Cottrell, Chris Williams, Detector Network, Dean Robertson, Simon Four-Tone Searcher, Graham Stokes, Keith Holden, South Coast Detecting, Dirt Diggers UK, Tony Kaywood, Scotty B, Tom Trussell, Jeff J, Chris Williams again, Laura Hearn. Good evening, Laura. You're the wife that keeps getting mentioned. You're going to have to pop your nose in, I think, and let them say hello publicly so we know who you are. Adrian Dale and Anthony Dale. Sorry, I do apologise. So anyway, let's get back to it, and back with Celtic Stag. And there's Kieran. Hello, Kieran. Is he dragging? I thought you were dragging Laura in then.
I'm just getting my wig on. No,
Me too.
So, what, dude?
Wait, no, yourself. Carry on.
As I say it, yeah, big shout out to Digger Dips for what they're doing. Absolutely brilliant format, and the way they've done it all is absolutely great. Also a big shout out to Paul Ryan, the developer. Myself, KEIRAN, and Laura. I'm going to be working with Paul Ryan. We're going to be bringing something to the metal detecting world that is literally going to change the fate of metal detector. Literally.
You mentioned this off air before. Obviously, we can't talk about it
No.
as such as yet. But
No.
I've asked you to keep me obviously updated with that, so we can obviously bring you back on the show in the future and see what's going on there. What's his name? Do apologise for a moment. Alan Kopitko said the sound quality is really bad on your behalf tonight. Is there any chance you can move a bit closer to the mic? Oh, look, he's getting KEIRAN out the shorts. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better. Unfortunately, I think that's the best we're going to get.
If I shout, I end up having a deep voice.
Richie Goodchild says, "Hi Dave, loving the interview. Very pleased for Craig and KEIRAN. Don't know KEIRAN yet, but Craig is a great guy. Well done again, guys."
I just got to give a shout out to Richie for that, because early on in my metal detecting career, somebody broke into my Jeep and stole my son's Garrett. And all in fairness to Richie, I was trying to look for it on Facebook, and he actually inboxed me, said, "Come down," and he'd give my son a Garrett Ace 250 France banking it.
Fantastic. And that's what it's all about, being there for each other and helping each other out. So sad situation nonetheless. I know Alex Savage down in South Wales himself had an item stolen. And
Alex actually
somebody actually...
And look at the treasure, and he had a glass in his hand, and he was like this. And I said, "What's the matter with you, Alex?" So I've just never seen so much treasure. He said, "It's actually beautiful."
And that's a guy who's actually assisted on the Pompeii excavations and such like, so madness. But he had something stolen and he trolled the internet, all these Facebook sites and what have you, and he actually found the person who'd stolen whatever it was, and he went there. So I can't remember the exact outcome of that, but I've got a package myself to send to Alex this weekend, which I keep forgetting to do because I'm lazy, but that will be sent this weekend, and it's not even metal detecting. There you go. So Adrian Gaylor, that's a question that I was going to ask. Why the name Celtic Stags?
Stags is a very mystical animal. A stag goes back to the Druids, basically, if you look back in time. And it's just a Welsh stags it's just a Welsh thing, really. We could have gone with the Welsh emblem on, for instance, but we can't copyright the Welsh flag or anything like that because it belongs to Prince Charles. So we went with a stag, and it just looks good. It's just and funny enough, myself and KEIRAN, we were down in Dandilo, which we got the Roman Walk Rally coming up on the 8th and 9th of August. And we actually we were on the phone to Paul Ryan, actually, to the developer, and two stags which was out in front of us. Yeah. Couldn't have timed any better. But it's just something that is very mystical. I don't know, it's a mystical, and it just fitted right for our country, as we are a separate country to England.
Yeah. And it's a good name, and it's obviously, given the explanation, obviously gives it a whole new understanding for myself. I'm going to bump back into the chat room for one moment. Good evening, Gary Brunn. It's a pleasure to have you here. Absolutely loved you on the programme. Which names eludes me for the Heritage Hunters. I can't remember what it is. I've lost track of everything. But Gary, I'd love to bring you onto the show in the future if you would be willing to. That would be fantastic, and talk all about yourself, metal detecting, and the country of your current living. That would be great. So Gary Brunn, fantastic. Nice to have you here. Adrian Gaylor says the Celtic Dragons. Now it's just you're just trying to change the name. Celtic Stags is fine. Stop it, Adrian.
No,
leave him alone.
Leave us alone, man. Please, I'm begging you.
HOARD Hunters it was. Thank you, Gary. I will communicate with you via inbox at some point in the near future, and try and sort out a date for you to come on. We're here every Thursday night at 8 p.m, and it'll be an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Anyway, back to Celtic Stags. So What's next? Obviously, you've got something in the pipeline which we're not going to discuss, which you haven't even told me off air. But I might find out if I pinch you hard enough. So what's next for Celtic Stags? What else is going on in the near future?
What we got with Celtic Stags, I mean, we've just been involved with a company called HEARNE Detecting. And here's one of their products actually. Is a pink digging tool. Now, I tested the other one myself, and literally, I got upend it. Now,
well, I'll tell you. What I'll do while you're talking about Raven, KEIRAN sent me some images before, so I'll scroll through the images while you talk. So, Luke, I'm going to be sharing the screen again, please. That would be fantastic, even though you're on the website.
With their gloves as well, which are brilliant because. Let me get it to the camera there. You see the tips here? The leather on the end.
Right.
So there's nothing worse than, for instance, you're putting your hand in the ground and all of a sudden then you get a little bit of a tin or a bit of glass trying to pin you in the finger.
Yeah.
But with these ones, and also actually it's got a cushion on the back here, which is a nice touch to it really, because there's nothing worse than you digging down or something and a crack in the back of your hand.
Yeah.
But
could you let me know? Is I've got the images up and I'm sharing. So can you see the image that I've got up currently?
No,
the screen's just on us a minute.
Right.
There we are.
I've stopped sharing now. Right, I'll try again, Luke. Sharing again now. As soon as you pop that up, I'll go back to the images. Fantastic. So
there we go. That's the Raven Detecting string draw bag.
Yeah.
Very well made, actually. The double stitched on hems as well.
Yeah, it's got some nice leather or something similar, faux leather on the corners too.
Yeah. Now,
Nice touch.
With that bag there, that comes free with if you purchase one of the digging tools.
Right, I'm with you.
If we got a promo code, actually.
You've actually got this though.
We got this in front of us for you.
This will be a fines box.
But if you look inside there, you can actually see the dimples inside.
Yeah.
Where obviously, when you wet your coins and you want to have a good feel of them to see what you got, normally your coins get stuck to the bottom.
Yeah.
But with these, that is because it's raised out to the ground. That they don't. They actually we tested it earlier on.
Yeah, they work very well.
They work, but it doesn't open up that way either. It just opens up. 2 seconds there.
Oh, back again. Click
It
it
opens
twice.
that way. It's double-sided. You can use the promo code with just for this is not biased, but for Celtic Stags 12, and you get 12% discount from them.
It's a nice little
They
piece.
did it.
So on this image, we've got obviously the fines box. We've got the gloves, which you've mentioned, and they do look a nice pair of gloves. Sadly, with me, is it a one size fits all, or is there a range of sizes?
They do small, medium, and large, and extra large.
Right. You see, I have an issue. I work for a well-known British engineering company, and size 10 gloves, nowhere near me, but the size 11 gloves, which everybody don't have many of because nobody's uses them. They're the only ones that fit me. So obviously, given the range of sizes, that'll be fantastic as well. And then, of course, we've got the trowels also.
But that's it. It gives the. I know it's just a handle, but the handle appeals to the ladies of Detective.
Yeah.
And they are bringing out a range for. They're bringing out the same type of glove, but for children, for kids.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So what we got to look at it that if say for my son and Kieran's son, we say.
And what's this one I'm looking at now?
I can't see it there. That's the jacket, actually.
It's the digital camo jacket.
All right. That's not camo, that's Minecraft.
Digital print then. All right. No, it's the digital print on there is it's actually really comfortable actually.
Yeah.
Now, the company have actually spoken to the director of the company. And as you mentioned earlier, you brought up CC Pens.
Yeah.
They're actually coming on board with Celtic Stags
Brilliant.
as well. And like I say, back again to bigger dips. Chris has done a brilliant job in bringing it all out and the idea, promoting it, etc. We're just donating now we're donating £180 to the autism charity.
Fantastic.
So everything you see on there now, Dave, in front of you get 12% discount if you join Celtic Stags Club only.
Right, I'm with you. So that's obviously the Facebook group.
Yep. Yeah. Paul Ryan is in middle of developing. We have got a web page here which talks a lot about autism charity, because that's a charity we sponsor, because that's close to my heart and it's close to you as well.
I totally understand.
Yeah. So there is no disrespect to going over the bridge with England. England have got a lot of funding for it. Wales haven't. For instance, my son has got to share a one-to-one teacher with another child, and he can't get it. He can't go on it.
It just proves to show now, like Henry's got one-to-one. That's something at corner. They couldn't provide the corner in different areas.
That's right. Yeah.
That's as well. A lot of more money needs to be put into it to facilitate these different schemes in different schools. So.
And also, we've been approached by the Welsh schools in Wales for us to go after school clubs with mental testing as well, which is something that we are going to be doing.
Yeah, I helped out at I'd done a few things at my son's school in Beavers last year, where when the beard was purple, I was Captain Bluebeard, and I buried numerous. Well, actually, I got a load of modern 2Ps, sprayed them gold, knew how many kids were going to be in the class. Buried the first clue, and they had to follow the clues and the maps until they found the final treasure. Sadly, I couldn't find one or two of the clues. I forgot where to put them.
There's nothing worse than that.
Well, the second one that I'd done for the Beavers, it was better planned, and obviously I made it more obvious as to where things were. So it's great to work with the kids. They absolutely loved it. It was mad having 25 kids, but I give them all a go with the machine. The teacher was beside themselves. And even the Beavers, which you might want to look at Beavers and clubs as well, they were absolutely loved it so much that they arranged to go to the local museum and they done a night there. So it was great to be involved in all of that. So yeah, something very close to my heart too. And obviously, Archeo Boy in the back room there, he's well into it. In fact, Archeo Boy, we went to a car boot sale last weekend. Dad, come and look. And there was a guy with multiple old coins on the table. Coins that me, you, everybody's got loads of in our boxes already. But he was absolutely astonished. I said, mate, you can't buy them. I've got hundreds at home. They're yours. Just, when you want them, you can play with them, you can have them, you can do what you want with them. He made me go back to the stall about half an hour later, and then the guy gave him a book because he was that interested. And it's now mine. It's called The Archaeology of Weapons by R. Hewitt Makeshot, and it is so good. It's like a late 70s publication, but the images and the information in it is astounding. So good ploy by the boy there. Car boot sales, you can't beat them.
The future of metal detecting is down to the next generation. The children, doesn't it? Yeah. It does indeed. So,
well, I don't know if your children would be interested and be able to do it. Dig Ventures, I've mentioned it numerous occasions over the past couple of weeks. I myself, Tony Kaywood and Adrian Gaylor, that I definitely know of, we all participated in the 6-week How to Do Archaeology course, which was totally free, and it was absolutely brilliant for me. I thought I knew archaeology, and it just took me in a total different direction of knowledge. But this weekend, if you sign up to it, there's a family one. I'll find it in a minute, and we'll be able to show the images. But if you sign up for this particular Dig Ventures, here we go. So, Luke, can you go into the courses area, please? Here we go. And if you scroll down,
It's just actually something we actually looked when Dave was on with Chris. We've seen this.
Yeah.
And we said that's something.
right, stop there. That's what we're looking for. Virtual field school for families. Free to go on to, free to do. Archaeology just isn't for adults. This course is for kids and teens who want to be archaeologists of the future. So, you know, try your own kids with that. Obviously, it's a byproduct of metal detecting, and he may learn or get so much more interested. It's something I'm looking forward to doing with him this weekend myself, so can't wait. Luke's on it already. Get Bonnie and Nelly on it.
Well, you look
So you've actually, talking about what we're talking about, is obviously straight away reminded me that this course is there. So
eat, sleep,
look,
repeat.
eat, sleep, dig, repeat.
That T-shirt my wife printed for me for Christmas. Sleep, dig, repeat is on that.
Yeah.
I always wear it out when I go digging because it is my lucky top. Shout out to my wife Laura. Thank you. And I wear it out quite often. Anytime they go detecting to me, and we always seem to find something when we got our top on. Well, I got it on.
The lucky scarpy socks.
But no, it's as I say, Dave. At the end of the day, it's all about everybody trying to come together. What you're finding at the minute, Dave, with land in Britain, is that you've got one man owning 1,000 acres of land. We don't agree with that, do we?
No, he's never going to cover that.
He's never going to cover it every in a million years.
Mm.
It's like I say, go back to the children, for instance. That's something that I can't talk about again, but that's something that everybody will appreciate.
Yeah.
Literally, everybody in the metal detecting industry. Well, I hope they will appreciate it. Anyway, I can't say they will, but I really hope they will. But then again, I look at it from so many different perspectives. So many avenues we can go down with what we got coming out as well.
Mm.
So,
how many years have you actually both been metal detected now?
Me, I started, I wasn't live here. About 8 years on and off myself.
Yeah. And what about you, KEIRAN?
Believe it or not, since September last year, so it hasn't even been a year for me yet.
Really? So he's obviously your lucky charm anyway, Craig. I'm surprised you haven't, or have you actually had the Celtic Stag logo tattooed yet?
No, that's something actually we've spoken about, to be honest. Thinking that's like I said, but I got like a ton of tattoos anyway. It's like I got Greek god here on my arm, Greek goddess here, which is quite actually lines up with the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
But it's going back to the story with the Bronze Age actually. The archaeologist wife rang me 11:30 at night. I was this number ringing me this time next, so I answered the phone. I was sharper, and obviously we've gone back and spoken to his wife about this, and why these things shouldn't be there. They're not right. He doesn't add up. So she said to me, she's an archaeologist and stuff. Like, I don't want to give her name out. She said to me, you have literally destroyed my book. Excuse me? She said, you have ruined my book. How have I ruined your book? She said, because what you found doesn't add up to where it should be. It does not add up at all. So she said, I don't read my book. I said, please do me a favour, don't add us in the book, will you, please, because I want to write my own book one day. She was quite crude, man. And not being odd, she was generally crude with it as well. It was more than you messed my book up. I'm not going to swear on the show, but it was quite a bit of language this morning about. So I give the phone to my wife. You can do that, thank you. Well. I was dealing with it. But she was really, after that, after we got the initial stage, she was really, really intrigued and started finding me the questions, etc. Everybody was asking the same question. Did you find any bone matter, or did you find any, was there any bones in the ground? Was there any, I don't know, it was just weird things.
That's the thing, is down here, the ground is very acidic, so anything from that time period anyway, even down would be
gone,
dissolved, basically.
But what is strange there, what confused the archaeologists there, it was one of the items there was 1,000 years older than the rest.
Wow.
Yeah.
1,000, a millennium. So have they been there for 2 millennium? Have they been there for a millennium? We don't know.
Yeah.
That's a big question.
Madness.
Yeah. It's from my perspective, to be honest, all I would love to find, and I hope I will find it one day, would be the connection between the Bronze Age and the Iron Age. When did it switch over? Because nobody really knows when it switched.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, good question.
It's a slight grey area.
It is a very grey area because, for instance, people say, oh, we got Iron Age, then we got Celtic, but the Celtic people were just really a bunch. There's not.
It was a nickname from the Greeks, wasn't
Yeah, it was a nickname from the Greeks. The Celtic.
That's where it originates from, the Greeks.
But you've got to look at it. But I would love to find, basically, open up into the ground and find Iron Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age.
Yeah.
In that collective group of items would change the timeline of a lot of different eras, really.
Yeah.
They could
that would be fascinating, certainly. And I wonder if, obviously, the country was more one back then. It wasn't England, Wales, Scotland. So would there be a difference in the timeline from East Anglia to West Wales, for instance?
Yeah.
Well, this is it. We were only a very short distance from the coast.
Yeah.
The coast was, we were 15 miles away from the coastline.
Yeah.
The land. What I was hoping to find basically would be, which I can't say. I nearly said then, but we did. But I can't say what we did find.
Yeah. Where are you based? Are you actually? Did I hear you say earlier that you're based in Neath?
Yes.
It was an hour and a half, 40 minutes drive to where we actually found it. So
I was using £1,000 a month in Tyrwell.
A lot of diesel used.
Back and forth. But it's worth it. It shows.
And you both work full time as well.
Yeah.
This is what we do full time as well now.
I work. My job on the second part I was a senior contracts manager for a company called HOARD. In doing the opposite of what we do, is knocking down buildings. And I used to actually take my detector on site. And I remember my father coming on site one day, and a couple of lads stitched me up. Where's Craig? He's been, what's all these holes in the background, Craig? I don't know that. Where's your detector, Craig? In my boot. Get it. So I was expecting a good bollock. Oh, let's go to this and let's have a look. I think I found more money on the school ground than I did actually for my wages. So I left the demolition site and I still get money from the demolition through my father's section. But we do this full time now because we want to dedicate more time to children as well. And I guess what we are offering in the near future is, so the new beginners into metal detecting, I'm not saying that we're experts, far from it, but I know how intimidating it is to want to rally and not having no experience, and you got everybody else out there with a detector. I'm like, wait, this signal, that signal, just signal. They're very intimidating. But what we are offering is we're going to take 10 to 20 people so we can literally have one-to-one and say, right, slow down, slow your swing down a little bit, take this, and then you get the signals right. So they get that intimacy then with ourselves. So in that aspect, when they do come to our dig, then they got confidence then that they're not going to be embarrassed in a way, because a lot of people do get embarrassed. And one thing we will not have on our Celtic side is bullying.
Yeah.
Fine is a fine. It doesn't matter if it's a coin, halfpenny, shilling, a threepenny. A fine is a fine in my eye. And each fine.
Taking up history now, essentially, it's all history. So,
yeah.
And I look at it whereas exactly. But you know, we started meeting, for instance, when we went to Slumwood. When we were digging up halfpenny, I love finding my coins. I really do. Buttons. I'm a fanatic for buttons.
I'm the same with musket balls.
Oh, I got like lovely people. I didn't realise this until I went to the museum in Wales. That iron musket balls are quite rare. I don't know if
yeah.
I didn't know that they're quite rare. The iron musket balls are fine. I went to the museum with a musket ball. It's actually took a collection. I donated it all to the museum. And then we saw this musket ball. There we go. Have you ever heard of a gentleman called William Partridge?
No.
Well, I found a William Partridge token, and they just can't seem to find out where to come from. They've had it 6 months. It's still in the museum. And I found a Roman.
William Partridge.
William Partridge.
So if anybody listening has heard of William Partridge and are able to give some more information, jump on to the Celtic Stags Metal Detecting Facebook group and share that information with Craig and Kieran. There you go. Let the hive mind do the work.
Yeah. I tell you what I did sign up to the other day was the Detecting Network.
Yeah.
Very good concept. I really, really enjoy that. That's Skype.
I can't wait for the. I'm not great at being online. I don't use online a lot, but groups. I go on Facebook. Obviously, it's there. But Detect the Network, when they give you the opportunity, when it all goes through, when everything's running slow because of COVID. Oh look, there's us. When the app comes out, I know for a fact, and I'll be on Detect the Network a hell of a lot more than I am currently. Can't wait for that, to be honest.
It's a brilliant platform. And if you get on early with a good product, then it will take you with it as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And as I said earlier, Scott texted me in the week to say that they'd hit 1,000 sign-ups. So that's brilliant. Obviously, it's in its infancy, much the same as Diggers Dips, and growing exponentially.
30 members a day, we're averaging.
Yeah.
30,
brilliant.
30 and 40 members a day. Like I say, Steve Pettigrew, I could see him keep messaging all the time. I had a good chat with him last night till my battery died. Steve knows a little bit about what's going on, but he swore to secrecy.
Well, I'm going to pull you to something I've pulled Steve Pettigrew on, and that's Welsh cakes. I need and want Welsh cakes. Pettigrew knows the rules. He knows the score. Pettigrew sorted me out Welsh cakes. So, as you're in Neath, same rules apply.
No problem. Yeah. You don't get in the kitchen. Get them Welsh cakes.
Well, listen, we'll be ending the show shortly. Is there anything else that you want to give any information out or discuss before we go?
Just a big shout out to everyone in Celtic Stags. Thank you for signing up with us.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Look forward to meeting you all guys on the dig on the 8th and the 9th. Just to let you know, we've also just landed 720 acres of ploughed land in Swansea and in Neath as well. Between the two, all ploughed, all ready to go at the end of August as well here.
Fantastic.
So as I say, I mean, we do like to try and engage as much as we can with our audience. We also, if you actually look at statistics, we always try to comment. So as I say again, I just love that engagement with our audience and with the Celtic Stags Club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it worth a while. It just, and another thing, just to show, I know a lot of metal detecting clubs out there. Do allow children. but they're not really fond of them. With us, we want your children to come along. I know we're going to get the odd few people that's not really going to approve it, but guess what? Tough luck. Children of the future. So we're going to put in 2 to 3 acres of land for the children so they can go in and detect. DBS check, marshals will be there watching them, so you haven't got to worry with the kids either. So they can just, and if you haven't got a detector, we got 10 spare for you.
Darren Booth asks, how much are the digs?
It all varies. If you sign up with Digger Dips, you get £5 off. They all depend on where they are. At the minute, down in Llandilo, it's £20 per detector, and it's £5.
Right. Fantastic.
Okay. Like I say again, all we're trying to do is bring as many family fun. I mean, also we'll have a ticket raffle there as well. But 25% of our proceeds then go straight to Autism Wales as well. Right?
Brilliant. Fantastic. And you also personally, Celtic Stags Group, have their own prize draws on the Digger Dip site too.
Just to go ahead and mention that for you now, what we're going to be doing is we're bringing out Celtic Stag product, not to interfere with anything that Raven Detecting doing or CC pencils or pens. What we're bringing out, you cannot buy. Mm-hmm. You will only be able to get them through either winning them at the raffles in the rally, or if you get them from Digger Dip's prize draw. We've got an anonymous artist on board, believe it or not, Dave.
Fantastic.
Anonymous and that artist that is going to be giving away every second week of the month a metal detecting painting.
Brilliant.
Personalised one. So if you win it, you can either be painted into it or you can have it as it is, and that's on an A3 canvas as well.
Oh, that's great. That sounds great.
So you know who you are.
I could see me riding a big stag. That'd do dandy.
Super majestic.
Swinging me shovel around, bouncing around like a gazelle. I'd break the stag's back, but that'd be okay.
Like I say, come to one of the digs, Dave.
Yeah, we'd appreciate that.
I would love to. I'm obviously, I've been invited to a lot of digs, but due to work and family commitments, it's I am actually going to a weekender up at Lancaster to do some NCMD work up there in about 4 or 5 weeks. Sorry?
Can we talk about the NCMD for a minute?
Certainly, help yourselves.
Right, with the NCMD, now, having to talking with Chris Bailey, we decided that the NCMD were one of the most trusted insurance companies. So we went down to the stage that we would only accept NCMD memberships if they were to come to any event or rally held by the Celtic Stags. Because we've looked through everything, we've spoken about it as a team. You have got FID out there, not slating FID in any way, shape or form. But I actually spoke, because what got me more than anything else, Dave, was that I spoke to John Rigby, about what's going on in Wales. When are we going to have more people out on the field digging, etc. And I think the following day, he got it into the Welsh Assembly for us and actually gave me a feedback straight away. Yeah. Mm. I don't see FID doing that for us at all.
Well, I can honestly tell you, being in the involved in the sidelines of the NCMD, let's say, the work that they do and the commitment that the people behind the scenes actually offer, it's for people who don't see what's going on. It's hard to say actually how hard they work and how many people have got so many roles doing what they do, not just at national level, but also the individual, like Midlands and Central Register and Northwest Register. the work they're doing is phenomenal.
If it wasn't for the NCND, I don't think metal detector would be as it is today, really, because they fought the corner for quite a long time.
They have, and they still do, honestly.
They do. This is it.
Some of the things that are going on behind the scenes could not work great in metal detecting's favour, and obviously the NCMD are fighting our corner every day. Even if people don't see it, I can honestly say every day they're fighting that corner.
Hero.
I can just see now, I was looking at Dave's scale. I'm not saying nothing, piss myself laughing.
What's that, sorry?
Steve Pettigan. He said, I'm not saying nothing.
Got it, I see it, yeah.
But no, then again, what people don't realise is it works out 2 pence a day. Nobody's asking for hundreds of pounds a year.
Yeah.
Now, Chris had a good point on the club. Chris has a good rant, bit of favourite. He fights Celtic back scorer in all the fairness to him, man. Like he said, you have to pay your car insurance every month. Yes, you do. Do you have a choice in that? No, you don't. But if you don't, then your car can't go on the road. And it's the same with Celtic Stacks. If you don't have the NCMD insurance, you can't come on the thing.
Yeah.
It's reinsuring our farmers that the cover is there.
Yeah.
So we have spoke about bringing Fid in, but I would like to see Fid doing more if they're going to do anything more. And until then, sorry to say, we are only accepting NCMD.
Yeah.
They probably not going to break your bank. They do a lot of things. We don't get it yet. I mean, if you're tuning into the Big Man Detecting show, Dave, you talk about it quite often. Because I know you're on a subcommittee yourself, Dave, aren't you?
Yes, that's right. Me and Luke are. I forgot what our term is, but yes, we're both on the subcommittee. I'm getting tired, and when I'm tired, I can't remember words.
That's what we're trying to do. Well, I did speak to John Rigby, and we are in the middle of assessing the Wales and us come on to actually jumping in to the NCMD for Wales. For Wales.
Yeah.
Because years ago, they did have a section where Wales were involved.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So that's something else on the pipeline. But I think that's about it. Yeah. I'd say you will have it. Hopefully you'll have it back on there.
Yep, certainly. Anybody who wants to come on the show is welcome at any time. Obviously, we're in the process. I would have put them up on Facebook, but being banned, I can't put the information on yet. But we have people coming up in the coming weeks who've been on before, new guests. And if anybody in the chat room wants to come on, you're more than welcome. Anybody watching this, get in contact with ourselves personally on Facebook or via that way. Big Metal Detecting TV show Facebook group. And we'll sort out dates. I know for next week we've got Marky Mark Gone Digging YouTube. Mark Lawson's coming on the show next week. So yes, you're more than welcome back on anytime you want, gents. Again, just give me a shout and we'll sort out a date. I'm going to be knocking up Mr. Gary Brunn because I've been desperate to speak him one-to-one for a long time. Absolutely hilarious, and all them nice vehicles that he gets to drive as well on TV. So jealous.
But just before you go, big shout out to Treasure Hunting Magazine because they're going to be doing the second half of
the HOARD,
and then you will have a little bit more of Treasure as well to go with it.
Fantastic. Greatly looking forward to that. I'm in contact with Julian today about him coming on in the coming weeks. There's an article that's going to be published in the Treasure Hunting magazine. So we're going to have the finder, who the story is about, and himself, and hopefully a finds liaison officer as well coming on the show to discuss this particular find. So we're looking forward to that greatly. That was Luke's idea. I can't take credit for that. Luke comes up with all the good ideas. I just take the credit.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's something that I just said, go back that. If you don't find Luke, you're probably doing a fantastic job, mate. Credit you. It's just Dave doesn't want you to do that.
Luke does. If it wasn't for Luke, the show wouldn't be on, because I wouldn't be able to do all the bits and pieces that he does. I wouldn't be able to make the videos he does. And when it comes to the printed version of the magazine, again, Luke blows everything out of the water when we publish that. Sadly, this year we were supposed to be having 6 free magazines out, but because of COVID-19, all the events that they were being published at have had to be cancelled. So 6 magazines we will now be doing next year instead. So big ups to Luke.
We can't. Well, it's a pandemic, and nobody knew it was going to happen. A lot of people lost their life. At the end of the day, it's just nobody was expecting that to happen, but it was just something that happened.
And it's. I know a lot of people who've been made redundant as well. So yeah, it's hurt a lot of people in a lot of ways. Well, gentlemen, that's all we've got time for tonight, because I know Luke's got to be up at stupid o'clock for work.
And
so again,
to Luke the neighbour.
Thank you. You're going to Greece tomorrow.
I'm going to Corfu and Laughlin.
Lucky man.
It's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you,
You're more than welcome. Thank you for coming on and sharing the tales and the images and what have you. This is Craig Hearne and KEIRAN SLADE. Do you know why I had to look at my paper then? Because you told me it was printed wrong somewhere, and I was in my head. Which one is it? So KEIRAN SLADE and Craig Hearne from Celtic Stag's Facebook metal detecting group. Please give it a look, gents and ladies. It's well worth your time. So to everybody, thanks for listening again. To Luke for listening, a lot watching even, and for those listening when we upload to the podcast. Take care, everybody, this week. We look forward to seeing you next week with Marky Mark Gone Digging. I'm Dave Sadler. That's Luke Hiddings. We're the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine and the Big Detecting TV show. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Holy moly. We search through the lonely earth. Oh my God. I will be your judge.
Oh my God. How many years detective, Mr. Marchese? 5-6 years.
Sorry, it's DJ.